Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're going to take an objective look at a truly fascinating and honestly highly unconventional series of claims published by researchers Mohan Saxena and Mohan Saxena. We're talking about supposed discoveries right at the moon's south pole. Whether you're a seasoned lunar enthusiast or just kind of curious about what might be hiding out there in the dark corners of our closest neighbor, these papers present a profoundly alternate view of lunar geography.
So, let's jump right in by asking the core question that drives all three of these research papers. Is there already a secret base on the moon? For decades, humanity has looked up and wondered if we're really the first to chart its surface. Well, based on their analysis, the Saxenas propose a staggering hypothesis that the permanently shadowed craters of the lunar South Pole aren't empty at all. Instead, they might be actively occupied or at least previously settled.
The researchers really don't hold back here. They assert that their findings in and around the Shackleton crater provide absolute, unequivocal visual evidence of either extraterrestrial life or a completely hidden human presence. It's a massive claim, right? It totally challenges the established narrative of space exploration. They aren't just suggesting they found some weird-looking rocks. They are explicitly stating this is evidence of colonization.
To understand how they actually reached this astonishing conclusion, we're going to open up their case file. We'll be looking at uncovering the Shackleton crater, surface lakes and lunar life, a secret lunar power station, the giant Sri Yantra, and finally, the big question, alien or human colonization.
Section 1. Uncovering the Shackleton crater.
So, where are they getting their data? The authors actually base all of their findings entirely on visual interpretations of publicly available imagery, stuff captured by NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter Camera, or LROC. The Shackleton crater is positioned precisely at the lunar South Pole. Because of the angle of the sun there, the peaks along the crater's rim get almost continual sunlight, but the super deep interior, it's perpetually cast in pitch black shadow. Now, to pierce through those deep shadows, the researchers couldn't just look at standard photos. They applied a really complex combination of topography and elevation filters, along with deconvolved hydrogen maps. Those are essentially advanced scans used to hunt for chemical signs of water. By layering all of these over the standard LROC imagery, they claim to reveal objects and structures that are completely invisible to the naked eye under normal viewing conditions.
Section 2. Surface lakes and lunar life.
Now, mainstream science has suspected for a long time that there's ice deep within lunar craters. But the Saxena paper, they suggest that their enhanced images actually reveal two large lakes of frozen water right out on the lunar surface. By pinpointing exact coordinates on the South Pole, they argue these aren't deep, hidden aquifers. They are exposed, frozen surface lakes, which, if true, dramatically shifts how we'd view the lunar landscape.
And here's the crucial part. The authors assert these surface lakes could harbor primitive life right now. They propose a strong possibility of unicellular microorganisms, primitive algae, and lichens existing right within this ice. Plus, they note several cave-like structures nearby. They argue that having surface water and natural caves so close together makes this the absolute perfect site for a future human habitat, offering built-in protection from extreme temperatures and cosmic radiation.
Which brings us to Section 3, the secret lunar power station.
Over at the rim of the Shackleton crater, right near those proposed caves, things get even more sci-fi. The researchers claim to have discovered a complete electricity-producing unit. They identify a machine resting inside a lunar cave, completely shielded from typical orbital views.
They break the site down into two totally distinct mechanical components. Above the cave, they point out a transformer built of multiple rectangular panels. They actually compare it to large, superimposed photo frames. And below that, inside the cave, is what they're calling a power generator. It's described as a shiny, cylindrical object resting horizontally on four metallic legs. Yeah, they vividly describe it as looking exactly like a standard household LPG gas cylinder, sitting right there on the moon. By enhancing the image even further, they point out a round hole with a circular metallic rim on the front part of the cylinder. Because it appears to connect to an appendage hanging down from the transformer structure above, the authors suggest this is a fully assembled unit designed specifically to generate electricity for a clandestine base hidden deep within that cave network.
All right, Section 4. The giant Sri Yantra.
Using those exact same 3D LROC filters we talked about earlier,
The authors identified an immense, opaque, fan-like structure spread right over a major part of the Shackleton crater itself. The paper describes a huge, solid, metallic object with 4 equal-sized blades. They point out sharp, straight edges and machine-built vertical slits. To the researchers, there's no way these are natural rock formations. They see them as clear indicators of advanced precision engineering.
But what is it supposed to be? Well, the researchers take this highly filtered lunar structure and compare it directly to a Sri Yantra diagram. They argue that this structural resemblance is definitive evidence of intelligent design placed right over the crater, not just a trick of the light or random geology. To understand why they think this is so important, we have to look at the cultural context. According to their research, the Sri Yantra is a deeply sacred geometric symbol in ancient Hindu Vastu Shastra architecture. It represents the cosmos and is believed to absorb and spread tremendous positive cosmic energy. Finding this highly complex, specific religious symbol mechanically built on the moon? Well, to the authors, that carries massive historical implications.
Section 5. Alien or human colonization.
Since there is absolutely no published record of any nation on Earth leaving spacecraft parts, transformers, or giant geometric structures at these exact coordinates on the Shackleton crater, the researchers are left with a profound mystery. Who built it? They propose 2 wildly distinct origins to try and explain the anomaly.
Looking at the surface lakes, the power generator, and the giant Sri Yantra, they narrow it down. It could be an organized extraterrestrial base using the caves for shelter. It could be a modern, highly secretive human outpost. Or, and this is where the Sri Yantra comes in, it could literally be the very first attempt at space colonization by ancient Hindus. Intriguingly, they also point out that NASA's upcoming Artemis program plans to build a base camp near this exact same crater, which definitely suggests the location holds some incredible strategic value.
The Saxena papers present an incredibly bold, heavily alternative interpretation of lunar data. It's a fascinating thought exercise, right? As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this. When you look at the raw, shadowed maps of the moon yourself, armed with these new perspectives, what mysteries do you think are hiding in the dark? Thank you so much for exploring this with me today. Keep asking questions and always keep looking up.